Hello, welcome to the final week of Arts of the Dynasty and Empire. In the first session of our final lecture, we'll be looking at the Bureau of Painting and how professional painters worked in the Joseon Dynasty. In Joseon society, painters had limited career options. The most prestigious and competitive was to enter the Bureau of Painting and become a court painter. Court painters served as public servants with the primary duty of creating practical artworks. Those in the Bureau of Painting were responsible for producing functional and educational paintings that supported the royal regime, reflecting the administration of Confucian scholar officials and Neo-Confucian principles of governance. Their most important task was to create artworks related to the king and state events. The Bureau of Painting was a subordinate government office of the Joseon state, composed of low-ranking officials supported by skilled professional artists. During the early years of the Joseon Dynasty, under the reign of its founder King Taejo, the government retained many features of the Goryeo Dynasty's Dohwaseo. This period saw a high demand for paintings related to the establishment of the new dynasty. The Bureau of Painting was staffed by 20 official painters in the early to mid-Joseon period, but only 5 held salaried positions, which ranged from 6th to 9th rank. Promotions within the system were determined by the length of employment and the results of painting examinations. Those who were not on salary typically received per diem fees or temporary payments for their work, leading to financial instability among official painters. Additionally, there were restrictions on promotions beyond the 6th rank, causing many painters to leave the bureau before reaching 30 years of age. To address this issue, a provision was established during King Sejong's reign, allowing some experienced painters to continue their work within the bureau. The bureau's activities were restricted in the mid-Joseon period when civil officials gained prominence over the king. But after the recovery of the Japanese and Manchu invasions of the late 16th and 17th century, Kings Yeongjo and Cheongjo utilized art as a propaganda tool to strengthen royal authority, actively promoting cultural activities such as copying royal calligraphy, painting royal portraits every 10 years, and producing documentary paintings of state events. King Cheongjo significantly reformed the system of court painters by establishing the Gyujanggak, or the Royal Library, in 1776, and creating the position of painters-in-waiting to the court in 1783. This initiative involved selecting 10 outstanding painters from the Bureau of Painting and assigning them to the Royal Library, thereby bringing court painting under the king's direct influence. The reforms within the Bureau of Painting included expanding the number of official painters from 20 to 30 from the reigns of King Sukjong to King Cheongjo into the 19th century. In order to meet the increasing demand for artworks, more painters were hired, offering promotions to higher positions for those responsible for royal portraits and securing salaries for official painters who did not hold other paid posts. The establishment of painters-in-waiting also provided these talented artists with a more stable financial situation and elevated their social standing, as they worked on commissions directly from the king and also communicated with him in person. This new system resulted in 2 separate entities responsible for painting production in Joseon: the Bureau of Painting, managed by the Ministry of Rites, and the Painters-in-Waiting, overseen by the king through the Royal Library. The workspace of Painters-in-Waiting was situated near the Kumcheon stream within Changdeokgung Palace, close to the scholar's office in the Royal Library. Unlike regular official painters, they were exempt from routine duties and focused on significant tasks related to royal rituals. This privileged position afforded painters-in-waiting greater financial stability and social status. They received the same benefits as bureau painters, plus shared salaries equivalent to 3 7th-ranked administrative associates. Once elected, they held tenured positions barring serious misconduct. Exceptionally skilled painters were exempt from examinations and could earn salaries comparable to 6th-ranked country magistrates or even higher-ranking officials. The economic advantages and direct access to the king made the position of painter-in-waiting highly desirable. Ultimately, this shift marked a transition in government responsibility for producing paintings from the Minister of Rites to the king himself. Although the Bureau's main purpose was to create works of art for such purposes, it also played a crucial role as Joseon's only institutionalized source of art education and source of regular salaried income for professional painters. To ensure a steady supply of skilled artists, an apprenticeship program was introduced during King Sejong's rule. Every 3 years, these apprentices would take examinations to determine their appointments. Those who did not succeed after 3 years were dismissed and often sent to serve as soldiers. This system resulted in the emergence of official painters as members of a distinct social group known as 중인, or middle-class professionals, reflecting their specialized skills and their evolving status within Joseon society. For nearly 4 centuries, court painters were selected through a talent selection exam called 취재 that evaluated their skills. The exam subjects included bamboo, landscape, portraiture, birds and animals, and flowers and plants. Candidates were required to choose 2 subjects for the test, with bamboo ranked as a first-class subject, landscape as second class, birds and animals as third class, and flowers and plants as fourth class. The emphasis on bamboo and landscape painting suggests the influence of the literates' interest and taste in scholar official painting. Official painters of all skill levels, from experienced professionals to students, regularly participated in various painting examinations. These tests ranged from high-stakes evaluations determining salaries overseen by the bureau director to minor assessments rewarding successful painters with materials like silk, paper, brushes, and ink, supervised by adjunct teachers. King Jeongjo expanded the examination subjects for painters in waiting from 5 to 8, introducing a new format called 녹취제. The 내각 인력 provides detailed records of examination topics and painter scores, offering insights into court painters' artistic activities. The king and his close associates at the Royal Library selected topics and evaluated the works of painters in waiting. The original subjects of bamboos and flowers and plants were broadened to include bamboos and plum blossoms and plums and insects. New categories such as genre paintings, scholar stationery, and architectural paintings were also added. The examinations now covered a wide range of topics inspired by literature, history, and philosophy, as well as contemporary costumes and lifestyles. The court painters affiliated with the Bureau of Painting primarily created paintings in the Gongpilwa style, which featured vibrant colors and intricate details. This required artistic talent and extensive training, and some paintings necessitated collaborative work. In addition to their official duties of creating paintings for the state, court painters demonstrated exceptional individual skills in landscape and bird and flower paintings. They also engaged in private painting activities based on commissions and demand. However, when producing official paintings for the royal court, they were unable to express their personal styles. This dual role in official court duties and private artistic pursuits allowed court painters to develop a multitude of skills. Kim Hong-do is one of the most celebrated and versatile court painters of the Joseon period. Kim Hong-do was born into a Jungin class family, and through his connections to government official and literati painter Kang Se-wang, he began to work as a court painter and received various salaried civil official positions from his 20s. Kim's close relationship with King Jeongjo began in 1771 when he painted a portrait of the crown prince, who would later become King Jeongjo. Kim Hong-do received incredible support from his patron King Jeongjo, who established a system of painters in waiting. However, Kim Hong-do operated outside of the painters in waiting group. While the painters in waiting had to take a test called 녹취제 4 times a year for performance evaluation, Kim Hong-do was exempt from evaluation by the favor of the king, who personally entrusted him with special tasks. Instead, he was allowed to travel outside palace grounds to various sites such as Kumgangsan Mountain and became the eyes of King Jeongjo, who could not travel freely himself. Kim Hong-do only participated in the 녹취제 and became painter in waiting for the first time in his life in 1804, in his 60s, after the sudden death of his greatest patron King Jeongjo in 1800. Although he painted various subjects such as Taoist immortals, portraits and landscapes, today he is more famous as a genre painter. His album contains paintings like Wrestling, Blacksmith's Workshop and Village School, which depicts scenes from ordinary people's daily lives on occupations in a rustic and humorous manner. Most of his genre paintings focus on human figures, omitting background details. He often portrayed characters with round, smiling faces, adding to the sense of humor. His bold, energetic brushstrokes and well-structured compositions bring vitality to the scenes, while effectively expressing the emotions of the common people and a distinctly Korean sense of humor. These genre paintings captured the realism and social aspects of the vibrant daily lives of ordinary people. Such focus on everyday life of commoners was a result of King Jeongjo's order to record and submit paintings of life and customs outside of the palace. Notwithstanding this vibrant side of Kim Ung-do's life in Korea, he was still a court painter who was reliant on his patron King Jeongjo. He took part in numerous state projects, such as the production of royal portraits, record paintings, and paintings for decoration and appreciation. As mentioned before, he could not exert creative input in such works. Moreover, although he amassed considerable wealth and prestige throughout his career as one of the most revered painters of the court, the death of his patron led to a quick and steep downfall in both his artistic endeavors, finance, and health. His painting style is said to have become weaker and less distinct compared to works produced during his prime, and let us record his financial struggles and deteriorating health after the death of King Jeongjo. Nevertheless, Kim Ung-do's life exemplifies the pinnacle of success that a professional painter in Joseon Korea could aspire to achieve. In this session, we examined how the Bureau of Painting functioned in producing arts for the court and training artists, and took a look at the life and career of late Joseon court painter Kim Ung-do. In the next session, let's investigate artists of the late 19th and early 20th century and how their role as artists changed from the Joseon period.